So conditional compilation is a collection of conditional statements. Okay, namely if def, if and def, if and else, finally and if. So and if is a common statement for all if def, if and def, if else. So all statements must be ends with hash and diff. So that is the last statement and ends the either if def or if and def, if statement or else statement. All must be ends with the and if statement. Okay, come to the previous statements. Come to first one, if def. So you can divide this statement, the conditional compilation statements, into two parts. If def, what is def? Here def is nothing. Def. Okay, here hash define x as 20. That is it. Okay, if x is defined, then we can use this statement. Def if def x, if def x. Okay, next following instructions are executed. So for suppose x is not defined previously. What is the meaning if def? If x is defined means that returns true, then only following part of the statement is going to execute. If for suppose previously here y is defined, but we are asking the compiler asking if def x. So x is not defined previously. So the part of the if def is it will be skipped. There is no execution. So it returns this part x is not available in the previous definition. That's why it returns 0. If it returns 0, the following part of the if def is going to skip. So that is the meaning of if def. Next, come to the next part. Okay. In the next part, hash if and def, hash and if and def. So here also we are going to check the x. Here also we are going to check the x. Okay, but we define only y value. Y as a macro with the value 20. If def x is defined or not defined. For suppose if you take x, okay, define x 20. If def x as it is true, it is uh, it is true. Next, it is true. Then if def part is going to execute. At the same time, if not def x, what is def macro here? X. If x is not defined in the previous definition, then it is true. If x is defined in the previous definition, it is false. Okay, it is false. So okay. Next, in other case, if in other case, y is defined, then our statement is if and def x, that is true. So that is the meaning of. So the first two statements are depends on the previously defined macros. Okay. So that is the if and okay. Every statement must ends with this and if statement, and if hash and if. Next, come to the if statement, if and else statement. This if and else statement also depends on previous definition. What is the previous definition? X defined as 20. X defined as 20. Now, what is the additional mechanism of if statement? If x greater than 10. So here we are going to check the condition. Previously we are not going to check the condition. Just only one verification is there. If x is defined or not. If x is defined, that is true. If x is not defined, that is true. So, so that if and if not depends on the previous definitions, but not the values, but not the values. Now, there is no condition also. There is no condition also defined there. But here we can give the condition if the same x is greater than 10. If this condition is true, then following part is going to execute. Yes. Okay. Hash else. If the condition is fail, x is defined, it's okay. But x greater than 10, if this condition is true, then following part many number of instruction, not only single instruction, multiple number of instructions are executed. If the condition is true false, what is the condition? Actually, x is one of the macro. Okay, that is already defined. But that macro is satisfying our condition or not. If condition is true, then following a part of the if statement is going to execute. If condition is false, means x may be less than 10. In that case, the condition is failed. Then it comes to the else part. These two parts again ends with the if statement. So these are called these only. How many statements are there here? One, two, three, four, five statements are five statements are defined as a conditional compilation. Let us go to the practical session. Okay. Okay. For suppose okay, it's very simple idea. We have to give basic requirements of the program first. Next, you have to define any one of the variable as defined by or otherwise as defined a 100 as defined a as 100. Next, int main int main. Okay, if def if def a def a means print. So if def a, if a is defined already, then you can give some of the instructions. Okay, the a value percentage d capital A. Okay, let us check each and every instruction. Okay, n if next and if return. Okay. Okay. The A value is 100. Okay. What is the statement here? What control statement we used here? If def. If A is defined, then the following part is executed. Not only the single statement, we can give more number of statements. Not only that single statement. Okay. Multiple times we can print. Why? Because that is the meaning. In the following part, if that condition is satisfied, total following part until the end of the until in the next control state. Three times print. Why? Because three statements are given. Next we can use, for suppose, if we are given information is big. Okay, how it was, we can no statement print. Why? Because B defined but not A. So we are verifying definition of A. A is not defined, so that's why that is not going to print. Just a minute, one uh, next verification. Okay, first we define A, B, but we are not verifying B. Now we can verify one more statement, if and if. If and if. If and if means this macro is not defined in previous definitions, then it becomes true. So B is defined but not A. So we are verifying A. A is not defined. It is true. Then the following part is executed. Okay. What is the value of A? A is there is no value. Then here what will be printed? Some generate some errors. Why? Because there is no A value. So that's why A value not printed, but this portion of the part will be printed. Just we can verify this statement. Okay, here A is not defined. We are checking also if not defined A, then we can print this statement. What is the statement? So here we are not getting any error. Why? Because we are not using any variables. Okay, A value. Okay, A value two times. Why? Because this statement is true. Why? Because A is not defined previously. So in that way, next every if and or else statement, everything must be ends with the end if statement. Next, okay. Now we are going to one more last part. That is, we are verifying the definition part with the condition. B define 100. Now we are verifying the condition. B greater than 20. If it is true, then we can execute the not only single statement, more number of statements we can execute. So then, according to this instruction, it is true. Why? Because B defined as 100. Now we are verifying B greater than 20. If it is true, then the following part is executed. Next, here we have to give the semicolon. B is 100. Next, for suppose if B greater than 200, B greater than 200, it is not true. So that's why no output will be printed. In that case, we can use one more control, that is else part. Else, okay, okay, else the B value is less than 200, less than 200. So then the statement will be printed. The B value is 100, B value is 100, is less than 200. So what statement is going to executed here? Else part. So every part next that must be ends with the end if statement. So now what entire mechanism we can observe only one thing. First to define one constant or macro. Then we can verify its condition also. We can verify it boundaries. That is nothing but condition. So if condition is true, if part following, if part means not only single statement, multiple statements are executed. Multiple means depends on our given instruction. If it is not true, then else part that may be one statement or multiple statements will be executed. Finally, that must be ends with the end if statement. Now, let so it is the last part in this okay, conditional compilation. So it is the end. Okay, next. So that is total concepts are completed. Now let us verify the important questions in that part. Okay, here out of 3 plus 1 important long answers and short answer. All are based on the previous statements. Explain about preprocessor commands. List and define preprocessor statements. Briefly explain the preprocessor directives in detail. Next 10 marks. Next, in short answers, name few preprocessor directives. So if it is a long answer, you can give total information for all the 1, 2, 3 questions. Next, if it is a short answer question, you have to give few preprocessor directives. Answer is for all these questions, answer is the same. What is answer? Here. Okay, here. You have to explain mac. Okay, all these parts. All these parts. Okay, if it is a long answer, you have to explain each and every method very clearly with more examples. If it is a short answer, you have to explain all the names of the parts. So in that way, we are finished the first part of the third unit. Okay. Okay. The next we can next part is the files. Okay, it's very important. Most of the this unit is depends on this files concepts only. Very important for the practical sessions also. It's very important, and exam point of view also very important. What is the file handling methods? That is the second part of the third unit. It is the last part and big part and very important part. Previously we learned uh, three uh, three type of directives. Okay, that is very simple, but this it is a file handling functions or file handling methods. Okay, introduction. Okay, till now we are very familiar with the printf and scanf functions. What is printf and scanf function? What print some information from the memory to the screen. Okay, next we can print some of the string onto the screen, your name or some information from the variables. Okay, the variable may be single variable, array variable, structure variable, pointer variable, any type of variable we can print on the screen from the memory location. And scanf, what is a scanf? We can pass some information to the memory through the through the key through this scanf statement. The scanf statement which can allow the user input to the system. Okay, so that is the purpose of printf and scanf. These are console oriented input and output function. Here printf is the output function, scanf is the input function. Next, this work fine as long as the data is very small. So data is okay. It is possible. It is useful. It is very clear whenever data is small. You think structure, pointers, arrays, or any data that is very small data when compared to the bank. Just compare with the bank transactions. How many transactions are performed in a particular day or particular hour? You think about SBI Bank. Okay, per hour, how many transactions are going on throughout the world or throughout the nation or within a region? Okay, we cannot compare the type of transactions with this type of small amount of information. Okay, so whenever come to the real world applications, okay, we need big data sizes. We need big data sizes. Okay, so for that purpose, our printf and scanf statements are not sufficient. Our memory, the system used particular memory, that is the RAM space, that is temporary memory space, that is not stores your information permanently. Okay, so if you think about the transaction. Okay, yesterday transaction must be recorded in the bank. Last month transaction must be recorded in bank. 2 years back transaction must be recorded in the bank. So our data must be recorded in the bank permanently, not for 1 year, not for 2 years, not for 10 years. That information recorded, that information is stored permanently in the bank database. So in that purpose, for that type of purpose, our system is not sufficient. Our system means this printf, scanf, and small memory locations are not sufficient. Not sufficient. So that demands particular particular methods. What is the particular method? Okay, think about our bank transactions. Our data must be stored permanently. Okay, so that's why it is therefore necessary to have a more flexible approach where data can be stored on the disk. Disk means the secondary memory. Secondary memory. What is the property of secondary memory? That can store our information permanently. Okay, forever and ever up to the failure of the disk, the information is stored. But our in the regular programming method, where that information our program is going to execute in RAM locations only. RAM, what is the full form of RAM? Random access memory. So random access memory, uh, it will store information certain amount of time. After that, no information is stored in the RAM location. So that is the temporary memory. Okay, if you store your information in the temporary memory, what is the use? How much of time it will be stored? Nothing. So that will be stored, that will be deleted, that will be um, cleaned after your system shutdowning, after your mobile switch off. So that's why our information. So in the ROM locations, if you store your bank stores the transaction information, how much time our information is located in the bank? Nothing. Within 1 hour or within 1 day, a total transactions will be deleted. So that's why we need permanent stored memory. So that is the hard disk. So if you think our information is stored in the hard disk, that will be stored forever. That will be stored forever. So that's why we need operation of the disk operation from the programming. So here in the okay, let us verify some more points. Read whenever necessary. If information is stored in the disk, we can access. Whenever we need, we can access. Access means the read. Next, without destroying the data. If you store your movie information, audio, or any text information in your pen drive or in your memory card or hard disk, that will be stored forever until you are deleting the information. So that is a permanent stored location. Okay. Next, this method employs the concept of file to store the data. So if we are using files concept, the files concept uh, is enabled to store our data in the permanent storage location. So that is the benefit of the file. So that's why by using files we can store our information, our calculated information, our programmed information is stored in the hard disk. So then that will be stored forever. Okay. Okay, so that is the file, benefit of the file. Next, what is a file is a place on the disk. Okay, the file is placed in the disk part. Okay, where a group of related a file is place on the disk where a group of related data is stored. So the file can store the group of related information. You think about your student information. Your information is already recorded in the office, not only registered that stored in the copy Excel sheet like that. So Excel sheet or MS Office or Notepad file or any information stored in the hard disk, but we are using some of the softwares like MS Excel or that software can retrieve your information from the disk. So totally, if you take any information, file, movie information, voice information, software information, any information, if it is available in the disk, then only we can access. We can access or we can modify. So that type of facility provided by file system. Okay. Next, what are the basic file operations? You think basic file operations are very, very simple. For suppose here, uh, okay, just a minute, I will explain. Okay, uh, okay. So every file must be stored with a particular name. Okay, you create one by one file that must be given by a particular name. The file must be stored with a name. Next, after creating the file, you can open the file. Okay, if you open the file, no information you can find. Then you can type some information. Then you can store that information into the file. If already file is available, then you can open the file, you can read the content. So in that way, name the file and open the file. Open is also two ways. If the file is already existing file, then you can open the file and you can read the data. If file is not existing, then you have to create new file, then only you can open the file. So create new file means no information is there, you have to provide the information. Next, come to the read data from a file. If a file is existing file, means before you creating a file, one file is there, then you can open the file and read data from that file. That is the operation. If no information is there, then you can write the file, write the data to file. Okay, finally, either it is reading or writing. Writing means again you can delete previous information, you can write something, or you can modify something. Okay, you can do any modification. So you can do any modification or reading or writing. Then finally, what we can do, closing the file. These are the file basic operation. The same operation we are going to program in the files. Next, okay, before going to files, I have to know the functions of the files. Here, the list of functions are there. All functions starts with the F. F open the file. If it is can see operation also. If it is a new file, sorry. If if already previous file is there, that is open an existing file. So then we can open the file. If no file is there, then we have to create the file. Okay. Next, after all operations completed, F close the file. By using this function, file going to close. Next, get C, put C, F printf, F scanf, get W, put W, F, FC, F tell, rewind. So all these functions are used in the file handling methods. These are called as methods. These methods are a file handling methods. Okay, first to do it is very simple. F open the file. If it is existing file, if it is existing file, we can open the previous file. If it is no existing file is there, new file is created. Okay, after all operations are performed, you can close the file. Next, get C. Get C, put C. Get C means get C. Get one character from file. That is the meaning. Read a character from a file. Get C. Read a character from a file. You can take this file. Okay, it is a file. PPS unit 1 is the file name. How many how many pages are there? Okay, how many pages are there? So many pages are there. Okay, what is our topic? Okay, here. Okay, get C. Okay, how many pages are there in this file? More number of pages are there. Each and every page, how many characters are there? We cannot calculate here. Totally 1900, sorry, 19,703 words are there. So, what is the function here? The function get C means get one character out of 19,703. We are getting only one character from that file. Next, so like that we can access one by one characters up to 19,703. So each and every character we can access from that file. What file? PPS, PPS, PPS first unit material. Next, put C. Okay, you can open that file. What file is open? PPS first unit is open. That is our first operation. Next, get C. You can access the each and every character from the file. Next, any modification you are finding, then you can modify. Okay, put C means you can put one character into the file at a time. At a time, it can put one character into that file. Okay, there are 19,000 characters are there. Okay, out of 19,000 you have to enter more number of characters. You can use this function, but limitation is at a time it can put only one character at a time. Next, just to skip f printf f scanf. Next, come to get w, put w, get w. Okay, w. Okay, get put are the common. W. Okay, previous get c, put c. C is the common. C stands for character. Here W stands for integer information. So from file, the file contains integer information. We will get one integer value at a time. Next, if we want to store integer information to the file, by using put w, we can pass one integer information to put w. Like that, we can handle. So these are the very different functions. Next, f printf, f scan. Okay, by using get ch, get s, get c, put c, we are handling only character. By using get w, put w, we are accessing and providing integer information only. So get c will not provide integer information, will not provide floating point, will not provide any other data except character. Put w, get w, it can operate for integer operations. What about the mixed type? Okay, for the mixed type, we can use fprintf, fscanf. Fprintf and fscanf. Write a set of data values to a file. Next, fscanf. Read a set of values from the file. So it provides the mixed set of data types. Okay, next come to the last three parts. Okay, last three. Fseek, fstel, rewind. Fseek means it will give the position of the pointer, position of a particular. For suppose here how many pages are there? Um, 88 pages. Out of 88 pages, what is the blink pointer? It is a particular intermediate point. It is either topmost character or bottommost character, anywhere in the middle. So that is a particular location. Fseek means it sets the position to desired point. Desired point means if you want to set, I want to read the file starting to ending, where I can put the pointer at the starting level, or otherwise I will put the last level. Next, F10, it gives the cursor position in the file. Next, rewind. So rewind means, yeah, rewinding means that is a sequential operation. Okay, out of 10 pages, out of 10 pages, uh, 10 pages are there, you completed your reading from 1 to 10 pages. Rewind means it again point to the first origin point, the set the position to the beginning of the file. Okay, how many number of pages are, that is not the matter. It will set the beginning of the file. That is the matter about this functions. We discuss each and every function very detailedly. It is not sufficient to discuss with the function names. Let us see in the next classes.